Namaste. You are listening to The Robber's Hill, Chambal, novella, written by Ravi Ranjan Goswami and narrated by Mitali Pirangute. Chapter 6. Bandits' Plan to Kidnap. That day, one of Kailash's informers, Nanne Barber, had reported that the next day a wedding procession would be travelling from Gwalior to Morena for the wedding of a rich man's son. Kailash knew it was not an easy task to loot a barat. After all, the wedding party would have a lot of people and a few gunmen too for security purposes. Kailash summoned his gang. There were 20 members of his gang. They were of different heights, weights, ages, and temperament. But they had one thing in common which kept them together, and that was their faithfulness to Bhagatji and his son Kailash. All elderly members of the gang had earlier worked with Bhagatji, and those who were younger had been helped by him in some or the other time. In an hour's time, the gang gathered on the terrace of Kailash's house. After the customary exchange of courtesies, Kailash, Ramu, Bhola, Dhakkan, Shakti Singh and other members of the gang sat down on the terrace. Bhola took out a small cloth sack from his pocket. From that, he took a small tube filled with lime. That sack contained tobacco also. He poured some tobacco on his left palm, then he squeezed the lime tube and took a small amount of lime with his index finger and mixed it with the tobacco. He further finely mixed the tobacco and lime by rubbing the mixture against his left palm with his right thumb for about half a minute. Then he presented this to the people sitting near him. They took small amounts of his tobacco and kept it in their mouths. To the people sitting at a distance, the tobacco pouch and lime were passed over, so that they could prepare their own doses of tobacco. Some people lighted bidis and cigarettes. Kailash neither chewed tobacco nor he smoked. Shakti Singh had come straight from the country liquor shack. He was a bit drunk. So when all were waiting for their leader Kailash to speak, he shot out a question. "What is the matter today?" he shouted. Kailash said, "Nanne Barber has informed me that tomorrow afternoon a very rich man's wedding party will be going from Gwalior to Morena by bus. If we loot or hijack that bus, we can get so much booty that we can live for a year without doing any work." Uncle Sivan cautioned, "Looting or hijacking the bus is not an easy task, as there will be many people on the bus, and also there may be an armed security with the marriage party. I've also heard a special police force has been deployed in the area to look after us." The last sentence was meant to infuse a little humor to the conversation, though he had heard it right. Sivan was a senior member of the gang, and the younger members of the gang addressed him as an uncle. He suggested that they consult Bhagatji too. They all then proceeded to Bhagatji's Hanuman temple to seek his advice. Sivan told him the situation and asked his opinion. Bhagatji said, "Don't take many risks by trying to rob the bus in broad daylight. I guess kidnapping a few people from the wedding bus will be easier and will bring a very good ransom." Shakti Singh had an idea. "I think we should attack the bus on its return trip, as at that time the new bride will also be in the wedding party. Then we can kidnap the bride as well. Besides ransom, the bride's gold ornaments worth lakhs of rupees would be our bonus," he said. Bhagatji said, "No, not the bride." Bhagatji always honored women. He had never kidnapped a woman. It was the topmost ideal of the Robbers' Hill village to respect women. Kailash followed his father thoroughly in this matter. Even Bhagatji had fought against other gangs to free kidnapped women. He never refused to raise a gun to save the honor of a woman.